Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy here, Ken. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. So I want to get my quick thoughts here on some of the stuff that's happened in wrestling. We had Slammiversary on Saturday. Sunday we had WWE's Money in the Bank, and then tonight, for the first time, I decided to watch Raw. In a long time. Let's just say, definitely within over a year. So Slammiversary was a decent pay per view. I'll say Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank was what really had me wanting to tune into Raw tonight, which is something I can say the whole pandemic year. No WWE pay per views done. I haven't watched Raw. I've watched the pay per views, but a full episode of Raw I haven't watched at all. Raw I've caught on the highlight reels and listening to podcasters and to know what was going on, but I haven't watched a full episode of Raw for the entire pandemic. That's a year and a half. That's just how bad the shows have been to me. But Money in the Bank, I thought was a decent pay per view. I thought it was the latter half of it. I thought was good. The men's ladder match and then the main event, and then all the implications after that with John Cena returning, Edge and Seth Rollins going into SummerSlam. So they're definitely pulling all the stops for SummerSlam between the endings of last night's pay per view and then tonight on Raw. They're full steam ahead. They're going into SummerSlam full steam ahead. The crowd's back, which I think is great. So yeah, I just got to get into Raw tonight mostly. Um, all in all, I thought Raw was a pretty good show. Probably hands down the best Raw we've had in the whole year. Whole year. Whole year. This was the best Raw we've had in the whole year. I probably put this Raw. The best Raw I think we had in the pandemic year was the night that Bobby Lashley won the WWE Championship, and how they kind of chased and teased fans all night on that episode of Raw, and then Lashley obviously finally won the title. I thought that was probably the best Raw we had in the pandemic era. This is the best Raw I felt we've had since then. So, but saying all that to say, John Cena opened up the show, spoke his piece, and just went straight to the point, and that was he's challenging Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Told him what he thought of him, and say he's gonna speak his piece even further tonight on SmackDown. That was a good way to open up the show. Tonight on Raw, the one thing that we desperately needed so bad that WWE is finally doing. They did a little bit on Friday too, but for Raw especially, they brought up some new fresh faces. Keith Lee came back tonight. Um, who else came out tonight? Uh, Killer Cross made his debut, or Karrion Kross, whatever. I still call him Killer Cross. It's more of a badass name. Made his debut tonight, and I'm really gonna get into that because I don't understand. And someone else made their return. I don't remember. Obviously Goldberg made his appearance tonight, but that was announced over a week ago. Um, Damn it, I can't remember. Someone else made their return tonight, but I can't remember. But point is, we needed some fresh faces. Some chess pieces need to be moved around desperately on the Raw brand. McIntyre has his program with Jinder Mahal, so that's set in stone. Um, I'm gonna talk about a couple of things though here for Raw. Definitely glad to see Keith Lee back. He has new music. Keith Lee fought Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. Bobby Lashley beat him. After Bobby Lashley beat him, um, Goldberg's music hit. People in the crowd, they popped. Me, y'all know I'm a Goldberg fan. I'm always gonna pop for Goldberg. It's just always exciting to see Goldberg, and then people's reactions online. Why is Goldberg back for a title match? Blah blah blah, and I'm just eating it up because I'm just like, this doesn't change. Just I find it hysterical. I'm a when people bitch and moan about Goldberg online, I'm a troll for it. I'm not gonna even lie. I'm a fucking troll. It's hilarious to me. Um, but Goldberg gets up in Lashley's face and says, "Hey, I'm next." I know a lot of people were really hoping for Brock Lesnar. That really is the money match. But Goldberg versus Blackberg, I'm here for it. And I know I'm probably the minority, or probably like 2% of the overall audience that probably interested in that. But look, like I said, I'm a fan of Goldberg. I'll enjoy him, while he's here. The limited time that he's here, for the little gas he has left in the tank. Let's do it. He ain't beating Bobby Lashley for the title. That's not happening. Just like he didn't beat McIntyre for the title. At this point, Goldberg is being used to put people over. He ain't beating nobody. And if he does beat somebody, it's not for championships anymore. Fiend being the last one. So at this point, Goldberg's just being used to put people over. So Goldberg versus Lashley, if we could get what we got with Goldberg and Lashley, what we had with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35, hell yeah, I'm all for it. Because Brock Goldberg at Mania 35, that was one of the best matches on that WrestleMania card. Two big bulls going at it, smashing at each other, go for it. If we can get anything similar to that, I'm down for a Bobby Lashley Goldberg match. I mean, why not? Keith Lee, and there were some people complaining online, oh, well, Keith Lee, he lost. Dude, it was a WWE Championship match. Did you really think Keith Lee was going to beat Bobby Lashley? Like, really? I'm just glad to see Keith Lee is back. Now, and then obviously the main event was Charlotte and Rhea Ripley again. For the women's title, Charlotte got disqualified. Rhea beat her up. Then Nikki Cross, under her new superhero gimmick or whatever, comes out, cashed in on Charlotte. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, my main complaint with Raw, like I said, I thought Raw was a pretty good show tonight. But I gotta complain about this. Karrion Kross. They hyped him up with his Raw debut. They bring him up, his first opponent, Jeff Hardy. First mistake. They bring him up by himself. No smoke and mirror. No valet with his girlfriend, real life girlfriend. And then on top of that, Jeff Hardy beats him on a roll up. Now, you could obviously say that, okay, well, this is probably a feud that's going to be moving forward, where ultimately Kross gets the upper hand. But his first night in, you have him losing a roll up into Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy's a future Hall of Famer. But I kind of felt like they should have put someone else in that spot other than Jeff Hardy. He could have a feud with Jeff Hardy. I think having a feud with Jeff Hardy would be great. But to do this, you put Jeff Hardy in that spot. Even if it was someone as, dopey as, say, like, I don't know, Naka Tawazawa or whatever, you still don't book Kross that way. You still don't have him lose in his first match. Why can't Kross, if he's been dominant NXT champion, why can't you continue that path of dominance over on the main roster? That's what I lose that translation. Because if I think back to the past, a lot of NXT champions that have been transitioned over to the main roster while still yet being in NXT, and they're the NXT champion, they've all been pretty strong. I think back to Neville, formerly known as Pac. Neville was NXT champion, and he got called up to the main roster. He had an excellent showcasing and won. Kevin Owens, NXT champion, debuted on Raw, on Raw. Was still looked strong. Didn't lose his first match. on the main roster. Then most recently, about a year ago, we had Adam Cole as the NXT champion, and he was dominating on SmackDown and Raw on his main roster like debut as NXT champion. Why is Kross any different? Why is Kross losing? And I go back and say, the things that make the wrestler work, the things that make him work at NXT, why are you taking it away from them when they get up to the main roster? I don't understand that with Vince McMahon. I really don't. We knew Kross was going to be handpicked. Okay, it's been weeks reported that Nick Khan, Nick Khan, Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, and Bruce Pritchard. No, not Bruce Pritchard. Kevin Dunn and Michael Hayes. They've been scouting, looking for new faces. Kross is one of them, obviously. Kross had a dark match on SmackDown, I believe it was, a couple of weeks back. Before that, he's had 2 matches on main event. One of the matches he had on main event, which is his first, big call up, he had the same entrance that they had tonight on Raw. And everyone was like, oh, it's okay, it's main event. But when he actually goes to SmackDown or Raw, he'll actually have the smoke and mirrors. And I'm like, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. Oh, no, it's just fine. It's main event. No one watches main event. So it's just a test run, blah, blah, blah. He'll be fine. Fast forward, what? And this was about almost a month ago. So that wasn't that long ago that he was on main event and people was talking that shit. Fast forward a month later, Karrion Kross got the exact same plain vanilla entrance by himself. No smoke, no mirrors, no same camera angles. And I'm just like, now look, this is my thing. Kross has a good look. Kross to me, I think, is a good promo guy. Kross to me, I think, is a good wrestler. I know a lot of people, for some reason, they think he is boring. He's a vanilla midget, or not vanilla midget, but he's boring or bland. That was my very first perspective of him when I first noticed him in Impact. But when I really paid attention to him and kind of got what he was going, I got the character, I got the person, I got behind him, I got what he was doing and where he was going. And I think that's the same thing with a lot of people's first perception of, because he doesn't do kicks and flips, he's boring. They're not giving him a chance, they're not getting him. And it's going to take some time for some people to get used to him. And look, some people may not ever come around to him, and that's okay. But here you have a guy that has these boxes that are being ticked that I feel like are positive. Then you put him in this, you give him a smoke and mirror package to help accentuate his strengths and help him come across more like a bigger star. He gets to the main roster, and you take that away from him. And my question is, why? Why do you do that? It's like the same thing they did with Aleister Black. Aleister Black had the coughing entrance thing, and it was over for a while. They did for a while on the main roster, and then they just stopped, turned him heel, changed his music and everything. Bobby Roode had the glorious music, was great, was perfect for his gimmick. Vince changed the song, changed his music because he didn't want people cheering for Bobby because Bobby was a heel, and look where Bobby Roode is now. Yeah, former tag team champion with Dolph Ziggler, but he's in catering right now. Bobby Roode shouldn't be in catering. Bobby Roode should be like an Intercontinental U.S. champion, title picture. And if he played his cards right within the last couple of years, maybe could have even been a featured champion by now, at least a one-time world champion. I think Bobby Roode could have been a player. But my point is that I'm showing these examples. WWE just, Keith Lee, another perfect example, a guy they brought up for the main roster, and they just took everything away that made him special in NXT, And it's like, why do these guys have to be repackaged? I do think that there's some things that in NXT that gets over with the NXT crowd, because the NXT crowd is far different from the main roster crowd. Some stuff does not translate. Some stuff does not translate. But I've noticed over the past year, for a lot of guys that get called to NXT, they tweak stuff and change it before even giving it a chance. Give it a chance first on the main roster before you start meddling with shit. That's what pisses me off with Vince McMahon, and when it comes to a lot of these newer guys and girls coming up on the brand. They change stuff when it doesn't need to be changed, or they change stuff without giving it a chance because they don't get it. And it's like, it goes back to the whole thing of Vince playing for an audience of one, and it's like Vince kind of has to get his head out of his ass, because it's like, dude, listen to the audience. What Triple H has built and what he's kind of set for these certain wrestlers, try it first on the main roster. See how it comes across to the audience first. If it flops within 2 to 3 months and it ain't working, then try something else. But at least you can say you've given it a chance. Don't pull the rug from under these people's feet before they even get up to the next level. That makes no sense to me. I mean, you have a guy like Karrion Kross, who for all intents and purposes, a guy I feel like could thrive on the main roster, a guy I feel like who is a guy that Vince McMahon could personally take a liking to, a guy that has the it factor. He has the look. He has the promo skills. He has the wrestling ability. He is someone that Vince would like. He has the physique. Karrion Kross has that. Why are you changing this? Why are you having him lose up on a roll-up? It doesn't make sense to me. This is just my quick complaint. Didn't mean to make this too long, but I just want to get my quick thoughts on between the pay-per-view last night, Raw tonight, and just this abysmal of just how they handle NXT guys when they come up, and Cross, to me, I don't understand. I don't understand. You guys let me know what you think about this in the box below. Do yourself a favor, hit the like button and subscribe. Peace out.